front of Engine Company 5. They just had a moment of silence to honor the fallen. This is a local firehouse in the East Village where sadly they lost one of their first responders, firefighter Manny Del Val. They got the call on September 11th to respond to the tragedy that happened at first at the North Tower, and Engine Company 5 was assigned to lay the hose because they're the engine company at the North Tower, and they are on their way up the stairs, and Manny Del Val stopped on the 10th floor to give somebody oxygen that was trying to evacuate from the tower, and the rest of the company continued on up to the 15th floor. They made it that far when they got the call to evacuate, and unfortunately Manny Del Val didn't make it out, and he lost his life. And this is an annual tradition. They honor the fallen from their company. This is a statue of Manny right here. Here he is. May he rest in peace. He was always so kind. Gave our doggy Hudson his biscuits. Yeah, so it's September 11th, 2025. And this is Engine 5. This is the East Village of Manhattan. There are a lot of firehouses around. Some others lost even more of their company, but since we knew Manny personally, he always would pet our dog. We didn't have Hudson at that time. We had a different dog named Tabasco, and he would always pet him and give him biscuits. They keep biscuits in the firehouse, so we would walk by, and he was always so nice, and we're honoring him and his family, and really all those who were lost on September 11th. Everyone that was in the towers, on the planes, the first responders, as well as those who fell in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and the Pentagon. So I'm going to walk through another firehouse now, just to show you. We've seen in the neighborhood. Never forget, exactly. Kevin Wu, DC322, Ronnie C. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Ms. K. Agamemnon. Andre Green. Dennis and Jan H. I'm going to put the external microphone on in a second. I just, didn't have time to set up and put the microphone on, so let me do that. Hold on a second, guys. take a second and get the external microphone set up in a second. Oh, thank you. Kevin Wu, thank you for the anniversary wishes. September 11th is also James and I's wedding anniversary. "31 years today." And, you know, it's a hard day to celebrate in now in some ways because of the, you know, tragedy. So hold on, I'm putting the microphone. The microphone is changing. Give me 1 second, guys, as I change out the microphone. Give me 1 more second, guys. Hold on. Give me 1 more second, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Just gotta get a microphone check. Sorry, guys. I know I'm staying still. All right, sorry about that, guys. Good morning, everyone. So on September 11th, we always, not only do we like to remember, honor the fallen, but it is our wedding anniversary. Sorry about the street noise. We're just gonna go on a little walk because there's another firehouse nearby this one, and I don't know if they'll have the firehouse doors open like they did on Engine 5, but we'll go check it out. Dennis and Jan H says hello. Darlene W says happy anniversary. Ms. K says happy anniversary. Thank you, guys. Ronnie C says happy anniversary. Kurt saying hello. Yeah, it was September 11th. We will always remember 2001 was a day very much like today. Beautiful blue skies, as you could see. Look at the blue skies, guys. Not a cloud in the sky, and it was very similar to that on September 11, 2001. Very clear skies. And, you know, James and I have been living in the same apartment in the East Village, so if you've watched our live streams before, you know that we can see the, you know, we saw the Twin Towers from our window. And right now, of course, we can see One World Trade Center from a window of our apartment. You know, we've been married for 31 years today. On that day, James had already left for work because he had to be at work early. And so when the first plane hit at 8:46 a.m., he was already out the door. My schedule was a little bit different. I was still at home because I didn't have to be at work until 9:30, and so I was still at home when the tragedy happened. Of course, ended up not going into work, obviously, but we could see the smoke, and it just, I don't really like to talk about it. Just it's very disturbing. It's a happy day for us, being our anniversary, and sadly, a tragedy took place. But as James always says, for us personally, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So we are remembering the event because we never like to forget, but at the same time we have to have our own happy memories of the day as well. So we're walking right now in the East Village to another firehouse. Right now we're on 3rd Avenue and 13th Street. And I'm going to show you, this would be facing south. You can't see because of the buildings that are in the way. You can't see where the Twin Towers stood. They would be, in this direction, but you can't see them right now. I would have to be higher up to get above these buildings, but this would be, the direction would be south and west. This far south, a clear view of them can be seen from Washington Square Park, and One World Trade Center now. That would be your best view if you wanted to, if you were in, this area. You would go to Greenwich Village and you would walk to Washington Square Park south. And if you stand just a little bit south of where the fountain is, and you look out, like there's, the pathway, the main pathway that leads out of the park, you could stand there and you would see where the buildings once stood. Oh, thank you, Miriam Mancini. Yeah. Darlene W. Nadine says, bless us all, noble sweetness. John the Beagle Dad. Esther says, it's amazing how you saw them in real time. Yeah, it is, but, honestly, it's a tough one, because it's something that, you wish you hadn't had to witness. So thank you guys for joining us on this day of memory. There's another firefighter, because like I said, there's another firehouse nearby, and they too lost victims. They too have lost members of their company on September 11th. We're coming up upon it now. This is Hook and Ladder Company 3, Water Tower number 2. Oh, thank you, Jody Groves. Just sent us $10. Happy anniversary, James and Karla, and wishing a good day to Magnificent Hudson, and thank you for showing the firehouses about 9/11. It was a clear day here in Nashville. Bless you three. Oh, thank you. So let me show you. This is their dedication. Look at this. The courage of life is often a less dramatic event than the courage of the final moment, but it is no less a magnificent mixture of triumph and tragedy. A man does what he must in spite of personal consequences, in spite of obstacles and profound danger and pressure. This is the basis of all mortality. So to those brave men we have lost, we dedicate this steel whose memory will live in our hearts forever. And you see, this is a piece. This is the piece of the number 3 truck that burned. Look, it says this is 3 truck. And these are the plaques of some of the members of Ladder 3 that were sadly lost. May they rest in peace. They sadly lost a lot of their members. They have them honored on the wall as well, and it's important to remember. And here's their newer truck. So these are all, of course, active firehouses. We thank you for your service. You can see they have, a gathering because it's a hard, difficult time, and I don't want to put the camera in people's faces. But this is amazing to see the replacement truck. And then, of course, to have a piece of their truck that was destroyed. Very, very meaningful. And this is a historic firehouse as well. As you see, it I believe this is one of the ones where they might have been I'm not sure if they had the horses at this one, I know this is historic, but I'm not sure exactly the age. I think it says it on the plaque over there. I'm going to go back across the street and read the plaque about the building, because I know that it is a historic firehouse. Okay, they're bringing it in now. They're going to back it up. See, even on the back of the truck now that they have all the names of their brothers that fell on September 11th of the number 3 truck. There you go. BC John Williamson, Captain Patrick Brown, Lieutenant Kevin Donnelly, Firefighter John McAvoy, Firefighter Joseph Maloney, Firefighter Michael Carroll, Firefighter Timothy McSweeney, Firefighter Jeffrey Giordano, Firefighter Steve Olson, Firefighter Joseph Ogren, Firefighter James Coyle, Firefighter Gerard Dewan, and BC John Moran, SOC. Now, I think this is where this is the plaque where they talk about the building itself. Yeah, so I think this building is from 1929. I think that's what this plaque is referring to. You see 1929. So this is one of the older firehouses. Not the oldest, there's older in New York City, but this is one of the older firehouses that is still operating. Some of the other older firehouses have been decommissioned. You know, they've been even converted to residences in some instances, but this is the firehouse that was been here since 1929. I imagine this is a picture of this is that truck that they have the piece out of. You could see right there. I'm sure that's the original ladder number 3. I would imagine. And you see this is their newer one. So it's just amazing to see, and you know, a little piece of history on this bright blue day. See, I think when we go to 4th Avenue, you're still not going to be able to see the One World Trade Center spire because there's just too many tall buildings, but it would be just down there. So they're a very short distance, a short drive. This is an old fire box. I don't know if anybody's watching that has ever seen one of these or recall them, but this is an old fire box. So, and also emergency box. To report an emergency, you lift the cover, push the button, and an operator will answer to get help. And this is before in the day and age of cell phones. If you saw a fire or some activity, you know, that needed emergency assistance, that's what you would do. Atomic Puncture's difficult day for New York City. Thanks, Karla. And again, thank you, Jody Grubbs. Really do appreciate that. The ABX girl is saying hello. Nadine is saying prayers. Hey, Jeff and STNY says thanks for doing this and happy anniversary. Thank you, Jeff and STNY. So I'm going to share with you another memory that James and I have from that day on September 11th, because, like I said, James went to work. You know, he eventually made it home. And what we did was we immediately walked together. You know, to see you know, like we were sons. You know, we just started walking. And of course, you know, because of the emergency situation, they had blocked traffic, so you couldn't go, you know, they were looking for survivors, and it was smoldering after the buildings fell. They didn't let you anywhere near it. But what we did is we went to Union Square, and that's where we're headed now, because Union Square has always historically been like a gathering place for people, because not only is it a central transit hub, but it's where you know, protests have historically begun at Union Square. It's just a gathering place for people. So we went to Union Square, and in the days that followed September 11th, Union Square became like the central gathering hub, because you couldn't go south of Union Square. So this is 14th Street, Union Square subway stop. Now, at the time, you could not. I'm gonna walk across the street and show you what I mean. So you could stay on this side of the street of Union Square. So you could stay on the north side, but they blockaded traffic, pedestrians. They wouldn't let you south. So you couldn't keep on walking south towards the Twin Towers, you know, site, or now One World Trade Center. You were not allowed to. This is Broadway, by the way. So what happened here in Union Square is, in the days that followed September 11th, people started putting up like Xeroxed copies, like missing posters, you know, on paper, on cardboard, and or on themselves. People were just, or holding up a picture of their loved one, and they would write like on their shirt, or they made like a cardboard banner, "Have you seen this person?" Like they were searching for their loved ones. And I mean, it brings tears to my eyes because this whole plaza was just full of people just standing and just, they didn't know, "Have you seen this person?" Like, I haven't heard from them. They were in shock. And, you know, at the time, we still hoped that people were going to survive this. You know, nobody had any idea that everybody that didn't make it out wouldn't be found alive. You know, they were hoping that people would be found alive, but I mean, that wasn't the case. But there were so many missing people, and this is where they all gathered. So there was just, it was like a sea of people. You could see there's the spire for the Empire State Building. It was just a sea of people, and it was extremely sad. But at the same time, like, you know, the city came together and people just, you know, supported one another. So anyway, I wanted to just share with you that we will always remember. And like I said, Union Square was the gathering point. Eventually they did open. Now you can see the view. See, here's the view from University. So now you can see, this is where a lot of people stood, because you could see where like the Twin Towers were, like from this vantage point. So this is why I wanted to show you. There it is. I'll zoom in. There's the spire of One World Trade Center. So you could see from Union Square at the intersection of University Place is where you could actually see. So this whole area, I mean, was just full of people just searching for their loved ones. Have you seen this person? Like all along here, there's just, you know, Xerox copies of missing, have you seen this person? Posters, people just standing there, you know, just still like looking at sight. The smell in the air, you know, you could still smell the acridness. I mean, it just, like I said, I don't want to dwell on it because it is extremely sad, but I just wanted to share a little bit of what it was like being in the city, you know, from our point of view, which thankfully we didn't lose any family member or anything like that, but we did, like I said, we did know Manny personally, who worked, the firefighter that didn't make it out alive from the North Tower, from Engine 5. Yeah, I mean, it's hard, but like I said, it's important to remember. So just imagine this just being full of people, just standing, trying to see, has anyone seen my loved one? Has anyone seen my brother, my sister, my mother, my father, my child, you know, a cousin, whomever it was, a colleague, a good friend. And again, thank you for sharing your personal memories of that day, and our hearts and our prayers go to everyone who was personally affected and lost someone. John Smith is asking a good question. So the National Guardsmen, is there a regular in New York now or just for today? They are in certain areas, like you might see them by Times Square or from time to time, but it's not a regular sight. By Union Square, no. They're definitely, National Guard aren't usually seen here. They were probably called in, because right now there's the memorial, at the September 11th memorial. They're honoring the victims. But in the subway stations, like this is the major subway station, Union Square, you will find, added security these days. Sometimes there's a bag check when you enter the subway. Not all the time, but they'll check your bags, for suspicious packages. So again, September 11, 2001 was a blue sky day, very, very similar to the sky today. And we just showed you University Place and Union Square. So guys, this is just going to be a shorter video today because James and I are going to have a breakfast together just to celebrate our anniversary, and on a more positive note and more lighthearted, for those who are in New York City and would like to meet us and join us, tonight we are having our book release party and book signing event for our new book, Vinyl NYC, and that's going to be right here in the East Village at 32 East 2nd Street. That's Ergo Records, and it's a free event. You're welcome to attend. We do suggest you RSVP this because it's a record store and there's limited space, but I'm sure if you just want to stop by, that's fine too. And that's 32 East 2nd Street between 7 and 9 p.m. James and I will be there with Hudson, of course, and we look forward to seeing you. So thanks guys for joining us, and may we never forget, honor those fallen on September 11th. Not only worldwide, not only here in New York, but in Pennsylvania, in Washington, D.C., everyone who was affected by these events, may we never forget. Oh, the Mighty Bull just sent us $1.99 wishing happy anniversary. Thank you so much, Mighty Bull. We do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a thank you again to Jody Grubbs. Thanks to all our wonderful YouTube chat family. We do appreciate you watching and listening. And not sure if we're going to be able to live stream our event tonight because it's a record store and we're going to have music playing. The owner of the store is going to be spinning. He's going to be the DJ. He's going to be spinning some vinyl. And, because it's copyrighted music, I doubt we'll be able to live stream, but, maybe we will. Maybe, we'll find a way somehow. We'll figure it out. But thanks again for watching, guys. And there's ladder 3 going around. Have a great day. Be safe. And thanks again for watching. Bye, guys.